Hey guys. Alright, so I'm setting up. So yeah, basically we are going to do just studying some, uh, more or less chess principles. Um, yeah, sorry about the fan, if you guys are hearing the fan. Um, but yeah, basically we're going to do the bishop, just like the broadcast. Let's see here. Uh, Understanding the bishop in the middle game. So, everybody gets an opening through the opening. Like, I don't know openings names-wise. I mean, I can, get my way around it by, putting pieces in the center and controlling squares, e4, d4, these four critical squares here. And then probably castle, and then try to go for some attack or some plan in the future. But this is just to make you guys understand, at least, for me to just review a little bit, make sure my ideas are still sound. And so we're going to do the bishop. So um, bishops are technically better than knights, but it just depends on how you guys look at it. Um, the bishop will be, let's say, about 3 points, and a knight's worth 3 points. But all of that depends on basically on what the position is. So, like, if the bishops likes open position. So if the position is very open, then sometimes the bishop is worth 4 points even. If the bishop is in a closed position, probably maybe like a two, maybe 2.5 or something. And so basically, here's good bishop, bad bishop, and active bishop. So there's this, so good bishop, all the pieces of your pieces are on different squares. So let's see. I'll give you guys examples and stuff. Something like, this is an example. This is a good bishop because it's in a better square. I mean, it can move anywhere. But let's make it more obvious. Like that, like that. Right, so which one's a good bishop? Obviously, the F1 bishop is better. Um, and the C1 bishop is weak. Um, because right now it can't move anywhere. It's on. This is called the bad bishop because, well, right now it's on the same color as the pieces, same color on the squares, and really can't move anywhere. But it doesn't matter if it can't move anywhere. It's more or less it's on the same squares. Um, and so this is good bishop, bad bishop. Active bishop is a little bit hard to describe. Um, let's see there. Usually, let's do this. Usually this opening transposes anyway, so uh, that bishop, 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 and knight, pawn, pair, e6. Yeah, sorry for the laggy. I think um, this is, and so basically here, I mean, right now, this is a good bishop. This is technically the bad bishop, but the hope is that this bishop would become active after a few trades, and now, like, let's say if we get rid of this pawn, it becomes active, and a good bishop now. So our ideal goal is to have both of the bishops be good. And so in this position, you know, obviously you guys tell me in the stream, black has two bishops right now. Which one's the good bishop? Which one is the good bishop? Which one's the good bishop, guys? Okay. Well, the good bishop is the bishop on e6. Um, let's see here. The bad bishop is the bishop on e7 because it can't move anywhere. Pieces are, most of the black's pieces are on dark squares. So essentially, um, black's hope is to trade off this bishop or try to make it better. So we'll actually look into that. Um, so let's see here. If we have like a bad bishop, we can trade it for something. So let's see here. E4, D6, D4, knight F6, knight C3, G6, knight F3, bishop G7, bishop E2. Let's just cancel. Bishop G4, bishop E3, knight C6, queen D2, E5, G takes E5, D takes E5, rook E1, queen C8, stepping off the file, queen C1, rook D8, rook takes D8, queen takes C8, rook D1, queen F8, H3, bishop takes, bishop takes. And so now, you like trading bishops from that side? This depends on position. So now, white has double bishops. White has double bishops, and so, now, black is preventing the h6. So which one's the good bishop, which one's the bad bishop? Well, the bad bishop is obviously the bishop on f3. The bishop is where? e3. And so, you want to trade off this bishop. Hopefully not for knight, but maybe like get it active. So like this one, this bishop, if you look at black's point of view, this bishop is technically bad because it's being blocked by its own pieces. Its own two squares is h6, which it can't go, and h8, which can't really maneuver anywhere. So in this position, white's main goal here is to trade off the bishop. So let's see here. Well, okay. I mean, f3 bishop is bad, but it can get active with e2. This bishop on g7 is technically bad. So after bishop f3, which move do we want? How do we want to go about, trading off this bishop? Let's give you guys black's perspective. How do you go trading off this perspective here? This is a bad bishop, so h5. And so the idea is we go king h7 and then bishop h6 and then trade off. So knight b5 attacking c7, rook c8 protecting it, c3. Right. So c3 prevents us to do knight d4 in the future. So c3, king h7, knight a7. So now hopping back to maybe e5 here. Bishop h6, bishop takes, queen takes, king takes. And now it is white's move, and basically the game is pretty much drawn. Really no advantage for white. Very symmetric position. No, pawn structure problems. No pawn majority on either side. No material side. The only thing white did have slightly was basically a bad bishop versus a good bishop. But black managed to trade out the bad bishop. So there you go. You just fixed your problem. And now, white really doesn't have really a good plan here. Probably just awkward drawing. Call it good. So, yeah. Alright, so everybody got that one. Let me see if we can set you up with another position. Yeah. Basically, I'm changing my channel more of like a chess instruction. Me basically going over chess principles and stuff. rather than me playing 1 minute or 2 minute chess over and over and over. Because I believe when I started this stream, I told myself that I was going to get criticisms from you guys, the viewers, and I'll try to correct it. So one thing I did was always try to win, but every time I noticed I always try to win on time, and that's not really how you should play chess. So um, so here I am going about trying to actually learn chess. So all right. Alright, so second idea of correcting a bad bishop is to try to make it better by getting rid of our pawns off the same color. So that means this bishop here on c2 is technically bad. All the pieces are on dark light squares except these two pawns. And so what we want to do is try to make it better. So here, what move should we play, String? What move should we play? Alright, so the move we should play is probably e5. Um, with the bad bishop, I mean, it's a pretty, I mean, right now, let's say if it was White's move, White's move it will probably be e5, and then the pawns will probably be on, White's pawns will probably be on light squares, but except these kingside pawns will be on dark squares, so the bishop has sight of h7. It's pretty obvious. That's simple enough. To e5. But let's say it was black's move. What should black do? Well, let's change it. Black's move first. Give him sign up this. Yes. What should black do in this position? Well, we don't want to allow e5, so we should play e5 ourselves. And after f takes e5, no rook takes, or no, excuse me, no queen takes, because after queen takes, then rook f5, and then queen somewhere, and then d5 push, and now this site is coming a nice being kicked. Instead of taking the pawn, we're playing knight to d7. So we're attacking the pawn twice, there's 0 defenders, so we have won this pawn, but our goal is to basically fixate this knight, and I'll do knights later. So like, I don't know, rook f3, no, probably not rook f3. Let's say rook d2 takes, probably not rook d2. Let's see, rook d5? I'm trying to find good outputs for this knight. I'm looking at all these like rook lifts and stuff. There, even f6 secure this knight, and yeah, that is basically game. I mean, like this bishop is in dead. The center pawn is kind of weak. We have queenside majority. Nope, no queenside majority. So I mean, we have a better placed knight, and this bishop can't really go anywhere. So maybe white could try to fix it with like maybe b4 and stuff like that. Not too sure, but that gives you some ideas of what we should play. Let's see. And if like he plays here at 5, well, essentially this bishop will never come out because the queen's got this whole diagonal, that's his diagonal, and really there's nothing. Not that I can see that white can actually